What's going on, chat? Good morning. Good morning. Let me get situated here. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's put the volume down really quick. Can you get a mic check? Mic check. Can you guys hear me? Market's opening up in here in less than 2 minutes. Nothing really changed, right, from our yesterday's pre-market plan. It's the same level. Market has just been kind of chopping, right? In yesterday's price action, we talked about this demand zone holding from yesterday, right? If it does get tested, and that's what happened. So 7570 to 7576, as you can see here, where did the market bounce? Right at that level, 7570, right? That's literally where you bounced for about, I think that's about 70, 30 points, right? 30, 40 points. So for today's session, I don't really have any good levels for now. It's the same level, right? 7600 to 7605. I want to see how price react at this level. If we do start to reclaim it, I want to see this, I want to see this level hold for more continuation to the upside, targeting yesterday's high right around that 7628, 7624 area, right? That's where we kind of shorted. But if we start to fail here, right, looking for a continuation to the downside, and where the sellers can, or where we can see some continuation to the downside, is if we start breaking this demand zone, right? This was a very, the reason why I marked this is if you looked at Tuesday's price action, let's go in a smaller time frame. This is kind of weird how price, this is where you also saw some large delta imbalance, right? You can see here on the 5 minute, on a 2 minute, on a 1 minute, right? Multiple touches at that level. That 7570 just held. So keep an eye on that, right? And again, yesterday, that's where we bounced off of, right? 75, 71, 75. So if we start to break that, I think we can see some continuation there to the downside. For the Nasdaq, there's nothing else. I'll kind of update you guys whenever I see something on the Nasdaq, but nothing much for right now. The market's open. Let's see what today brings. Good luck today, fellas. Good luck, good luck. We did get some large prints here right around that 7583. And then you got that initial push to the upside. Came down, retested that, and bounced as well. So that's one point of interest that we can look into. How you guys doing today? Let me know in the chat. Good morning, good morning. You guys still half awake, half asleep? We're approaching the 7605 to 7600. Keep an eye on this. What's the NASDAQ doing? Pay attention to the delta here, guys. Starting to build up here. And we're getting some... That actually just got filled. If you check the Heatmap here, right? You get some sellers, and then orders got filled at the ask, and now starting to get rejected. And this is coming in. Remember, these orders are getting filled right at this pivot zone that we have. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. There's not a large delay, is it? I think there's like a 3-second delay, if I'm not mistaken. Shouldn't be more than that. 3 to 5 seconds. You can see that on the footprint as well, right? That buyer there, you're getting a push down. Let's keep an eye on that. I don't think we have any news today. Well, unless of course Trump opens his mouth again. Good morning, good morning. So we're getting that push down now after those buyers got filled, right? So we can assume, right, this is a potential trap buyer at this level, and that's also in line with where our pivot zone is. Getting a push down here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There you go. Can you guys see the numbers perfectly on the chart? Or do you guys need me to make it a little bigger? I just made the font bigger on these market generally levels. So that's your opening price here, your high, your low. That's also your developing orb. This is your overnight low. This is your prior low level. NASDAQ approaching value area low from last week, as you can see here. $29,400, getting a little bit of a bounce there as well, and that's your prior low. What's everyone's buys for today? Are you guys bearish, bullish? You think we're gonna pump today? You think you guys we're gonna dump? What's everyone's buys? We're kind of in the middle of the range. Now the pivot zone is kind of an area of where I'll flip my bias, right? So meaning that if we start to reclaim this, I'll be bullish, right? And if we start to break, if we reject here, right, I'm bearish, which we're currently getting right now. So that's kind of like my flip zone, you can call it. So if you look at the bigger picture here, right, let's go look in the 5-minute time frame. You can see there's a lot of touches there, right? Whenever we're trading below, we're getting some rejections, and whenever we try to trade above, right, as you can see here, acted as support. That actually also acted as support in yesterday's session, morning session, where we bounced. So buy the bottom. I'm interested in lows around 7578. 7578. Yeah, it's kind of, so I have a demand zone there, 7570 to 7576. This will be my area of interest as well. But just remember, if 7570 breaks today with aggression, I think this is going to be a bearish. I think we might see some continuation to the downside here. My next zone, if we break 7570, is I don't have anything until the value area low of last week, right? The 7529 to 7536. So that's a pretty big, you know, in between level there. Not seeing anything yet. We have about 5 minutes left until the 15-minute orb forms. Still a little early, but you do have this low volume node here, right around that 7594 to 7595. So let me mark that. That's also right below the opening price. I might be interested to take this short here if we do see some aggression, right? So first things first, first thing we saw, look at the footprint, right? After this, you know, buyer got filled, right? Price started pushing down. So that we're anticipating, or we're assuming that this is a trap buyer here at 7,600. And then as you can see, price moved down, leaving this low volume node. So looking for a continuation here to the downside. again, we're going to use this low volume node as a resistance, right? We're kind of getting that move to the downside now. I would be targeting, you know, if we do get that retest and rejection, I am targeting this pre-market overnight lows at 7580s. Break below 7580s, I think you can see we're probably going to test the 7570 to 7572. As you can see right now, we're getting some aggression here, sellers coming in. Look at the footprint, guys, on the right side. Look at this. Sellers, sellers, sellers. Are these guys going to get trapped here? Or are they going to continue, you know, putting pressure? I'll take this out since we have this level here. I'm really liking this. Is the setup that I'm watching, guys. All right, you guys know my plan. I gave you guys a walkthrough on that 7600 potential buyer becoming trapped right inside our pivot zone. Right, that's one confirmation. Second confirmation is we're leaving this low volume node here. So now I just got to find my entry. Right, I have my areas of interest. I have the confirmation of a trapped buyer. Right, I just got to find a confirmation here. Meaning that what I'm looking for is either more buyers becoming trapped inside this zone or aggressive sellers stepping in. The trade will be invalidated if you break above 7,600. Okay, so looking for an entry short right around this 7594 to 7597 area. So I'm risking about 5 points if I take this trade. Morning, Prath. How you doing? How you doing? NASDAQ continued to show relative weakness, guys. You're breaking below last week's value area low. I don't really have any levels, to be honest, below that. Watch out here. All these sellers, right? All these sellers at the low, they're not able to make a new low here. We might see a little bit of a relief bounce here. You can also see that on the heat map. So let me show you the heat map here. Right? All these sellers here, you see it? Sellers, sellers, sellers. Is there a buyer here absorbing these orders? Keeping an eye on that. We do have some liquidity below, right? Limit orders. Right around 7570, 75, from 7570 to 7576. These, right, this yellow and red lines, these are orders that are sitting there. Limit orders. Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, guys. We have about 30 people watching here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please smash that like button. If you guys like to subscribe as well, greatly appreciate it. Again, if you guys just got here, the trade that I'm looking at, a potential trade, is going to be a push above this zone at low volume, this low volume node area, where it acts as a resistance, right? Looking to target 7576 to 7570. Right now, you're kind of getting right below that as well. I mean, we're not getting that retest for today. I think it might be it's going to be that type of day, right? Where we just get a push down, no retest. But gotta stay patient here. Again, the next area, right? The next potential short trade that I'm looking at is if we break below 7570 to 7571 with aggression, right? If I see very large orders coming through, and then the speed of the tape, right? We push right through, pass through it, maybe bounce at 7560. I'm looking for that retest, right? Where 7570 starts to act as a resistance, and I'll look for that continuation to the downside. For right now, I do not want to initiate a short position inside this demand zone, right? Because this is a potential area where we could bounce. Where I'm looking to short is inside this area here, 7594 to 7600. I'll flip my bias to the, like, if we break above 7600, right, and reclaim above 7605, then I'll look for then I'll look for continuation to the upside. Why the zone up there, not something lower? I can see some low volume nodes. Where? Can you what are the levels? The only low volume node that I see where there's because I don't just mark low volume nodes based on the volume profile. I actually look at the tape, right? The speed of the tape and how it came down. And if there's any, maybe unfilled orders that did not get filled. So that's how I look at it. I don't just look at it based on the volume profile where there's like a low volume. Getting a little bit of a bounce here right at that demand zone, right? And then we're seeing some aggressive buy orders here. Just came through at 7585. See, that's the reason why I don't like initiating at a demand zone. That's where kind of like your reaction areas, right? Give me 1 second, guys. Be right back. All right, I'm back. When you say unfilled orders, how do you find those out? If you look at the DOM, depth of market, so you'll see like kind of like not necessarily unfilled orders. So basically like where price kind of, you know, push down aggressively at that level, which leaves a low volume node. So you'll see that there's no orders that was filled at that level. So on a, on a DOM, you won't see any numbers, right? You won't see any orders getting filled at that level. That's what I mean. Do you also look at GX? No, I don't. I mean, the heat map tells me everything, right? The order flow tells me everything. I mean, the heat map basically tells you where, you know, where orders is sitting, right? And then just based on previous like sessions, transactions, well, you'll see, you know, you'll see those large orders at those levels where, you know, I draw those, you know, draw the supply and demand levels. So I don't know what's, I haven't looked into it. I don't know what's the use of GX for me. Keep an eye here, guys. Heat map here. You see this buys, and then you got another buy here, got rejected. Keeping an eye on that. Again, my area of interest is 7594 to 7597. That's also where your VWAP is sitting. NQ, let's check it out. Yeah, it does, but it's not in my area of interest. Right. I'd like to see a test of this prior low level or overnight low come up here, get rejected. But Nasdaq has been really weak. One thing to note, guys, lots of sellers, right? You see this red profile here? A lot of sellers coming in here at 7580-ish level. And what's the price doing? You're kind of holding here right now. Yes, DK. We might not get it. We'll see. But right now, as you can see, sellers are attempting here at the 7580s, and yet price is not breaking down. That's kind of a bullish indication for me for now, right? If you're gonna play if you're gonna play the long side, that's one information that you're looking for, right? You got one confirmation, you bounce off the demand zone. Second is we're seeing some absorptions here on the sellers on on the seller side. You would target this low volume node. But for me, I'm not. There's nothing that's giving me indication that that I want to enter. Especially we're in between the levels, right? If I'm gonna initiate a short, I would like to initiate a short close to this pivot zone here, which right now, right, this is our area of interest here at the low volume node. How did you get the pivot in the demand zone? It's just based on previous sessions levels, right? If you've been here, if you watch the previous sessions, right, you'll understand why I got those levels. This demand zone, If you, I mean, since we're not looking at into trades right now, right? We're just waiting. Let me just do this really quick, right? So this demand zone was created on Tuesday. Large big orders being supported, you got a large influx move to the upside, which created this demand zone. And as you can see, you moved up. And I said yesterday during pre-market that watch out, if the market's going to bounce, it's going to be, if the market starts coming down, we can potentially find support at that 75.70 to 75.75. And little did you know, came down here at this demand zone and you bounced aggressively. And as you can see, you moved up. And right now, what are we seeing? Same thing, right? We're getting that bounce. Good questions, guys. Good questions. And try to understand, if I'm talking about levels, don't get confused with, I'm flipping bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. I'm just simply giving you guys, information or context of what I'm seeing. Whenever I have zones marked out, those are typically, my kind of my bullish and bearish bias. Like if we're up here, if we're trading below, that's going to be my bearish. Think of it as a resistance zone if price is trading below, and if you're trading above a demand zone, right? Think of it as this is going to be my bullish bias here. Like if we bounce here, looking for a bounce at that demand zone. Maybe I should type it here. Looking for a short. Here. No, it's too much. Here's the push-up, guys. Keep an eye on here. Keep an eye on this low volume node. Again, this is not financial advice. Just because I'm saying, I'm looking for a short, that doesn't mean I'm going to short right away. I'm still going to look for confirmation here. NASDAQ is approaching previous session's low, right around that 29,400. Also, remember, this is your value area low from last week. This is where we bounce off of in the last couple days. And right now we're trading right below it. So look for that retest. If it does get rejected, that's going to be our confirmation there. All right, here we go, guys. Keep an eye on this one. Watching the tape, watching the heat map, watching the footprint for any type of indication of either buyers becoming trapped or sellers being aggressive. VWAP is at 7597. Approaching opening price. That's also where view up is sitting at. We have some sell limit orders sitting at 7599 to 7600. If you look at the heat map here, as you can see. There's a seller there. He just stepped in. This might be an early entry. I got in. Again, my stop loss is going to be above 7600. I'll look to add into this. My confirmation for downside is if we start breaking below 7588, 7590. Also, NASDAQ is at that value area low, also prior low. We're seeing some rejection there as well. Now we just need sellers to kind of step on the pedal here. Yeah, a little bit of a push. I might look to add into this again at 7590 if we break below 7590. I wouldn't like price to kind of hover here. I would like to see some, because the more we hover here, this is kind of a bullish indication. We don't want it to, we're getting a little bit of a push here. Keeping an eye. Some aggressive buyers at 7595 there. Might get stopped out here, keeping an eye. Another big order on the buy side got filled at 75.99. You can see here on footprint as well. I got stopped out there. Looking for another entry here short. Looking for another entry here. That might have been just a little early. I think, again, if I'm going to take this short, the confirmation is going to be below 7590, right? If we break it below 7590, I think we can see some continuation to the downside into that overnight low, and then the low day, which is 7575. Don't tell me I got stopped out of the tick and this is going to come down. I'd be a little pissed if that stopped me to the tick and we start coming down here. For shorts, again, this is going to get invalidated if we break above 76.05. All right, if we start breaking above 76.05, now I'm looking for a continuation to the upside, you know, assuming that this is going to start to act as a support once we break out. Again, 7605. I'm still leaning bearish here as long as this is acting as a resistance, this pivot zone. Sellers are trying to step in here. You can see on the footprint right there. Right? You can see it right there. We just took out high day. This might be an area of interest too. If I want to play this upside. Did you guys participate in this long? Or were you guys looking for a short as well? Hindsight, it was a good demand zone bounce, and then uh, passive buyer here, right? But you got that push up. Morning, Vimal. Keep an eye here, guys. Look, watch those buyers here. Delta, right? Buyers attempting. Still a little early, but they're attempting to break out here. Are they going to become trapped? You see this delta, buy side delta building, right? About 478 now. Let's see if this continues. Let's see if they continue to try to buy here, and we start. You know, we're not breaking out. That's going to be an indication that, hey, I think buyers are becoming exhausted. We're probably seeing some absorption there. I'm going to look for confirmation for, you know, continuation to the downside. And as you can see here on the heat map as well, right? See these buyers attempting, and then we have this passive sellers, limit sells starting to come in. I want to see how this is how the price is going to react right around that level. They're really trying here. Really trying. What do you guys want? What do you want to do, Bulls? Are you gonna break out of this, or are you guys gonna get exhausted? What's going on, Cynthia? What's going on, Leo? From Colombia. What's going on? Wow. We got about 40 people here watching, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, please smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Really appreciate it. I don't like this breakout. It's a very slow breakout. That's another high day there. Gosh, all these buys here. You did make a new high, but you're still struggling. That was a very slow break. Very, very slow break. Prior high is 7626. Closing price is 7616. I just need, I mean, we're seeing the absorption there. I just need to see some aggressive sellers for confirmation here. Sellers are attempting here right now. But again, no aggression. For me, I cannot chase this long here, right? If I'm going to try to long, next area of interest is going to be this 7590, right? 7593 to 7590. I'll be interested right at that level. This is kind of where you got this, consolidation phase, and then you push right out of that zone, right? So if we're bullish here, if we're going to continue to the upside, looking for that 7592 to 7590 to hold. For right now, I'm still At this level, at this point, I'm still bearish bias unless we start breaking above this zone. That's high day. There you go. I like that one better. That's a little better on that push. Wasn't the 7610 important? Yeah, 7610, 7611. Let's mark this, guys. Let's mark this area. Oh, guys, I'm not seeing much. Still waiting. What are you guys seeing? Nasdaq pulling back right now. If that 29,400 starts to act as support on that retest, let's see if that can align with ES here. There were some sellers that came in at the high here on ES, as you can see here, but I don't know. You'd go long now, Tim? No, the risk to reward here for me, I'm not very friendly. Nasdaq just touched 2400, 29,400 to the T, guys, right here. To the T, 29,400. We're gonna see some continuation now. Initial balance is going to form at 10:30, so we have about 6 minutes left. So expect some volatility around that time. I think we also have Netflix reporting earnings after market close. I'm gonna try to short again, guys. Stop loss is gonna be a little wide. I'm gonna put it at 76.11. We'll look to target 75, like this zone here first, 75.93 to 75.90. But again, if 75.90 breaks, I think we can see some continuation to the downside into that 75.80 to 75.75. This is my second attempt in shorting this. If this fails, I have one more try, right? I'm only gonna try it 3 times. If the third one fails, that'll be it for me for today. Another confirmation for continued weakness for ES is if NASDAQ breaks below 29,400. If 29,400 breaks, we might see some continuation to the downside. That could be our confirmation there. All these buyers, I mean, they're really attempting here, like, but they're struggling. Might get stopped out here. Yep, stopped out. Flipping my bias now. That's 2 losses. 2 shorts. Attempted. Now that we're getting this push above this pivot zone, right? This to me is, I'm viewing this as price acceptance above the pivot zone. So I want to see a push above 76.16, right? Even at the 76.20, whereas the pullback, like I'll look for that pullback, maybe into that 76.04 to 76.08 for a continuation to the upside now. Just that like, I mean, I was attempting this potential absorption, right? A lot of buyers coming in here, and yet price was kind of struggling. I mean, I didn't. The only thing that I can say about taking the entry was, I think it was a little early, right? We wanted for a confirmation. We didn't wait for the confirmation. We would want to see a push, push down and possibly a retest for that entry. Now I want to see if this 76.04 can start acting as a support here, and then look for maybe put our stop loss below 7,600, because that's where you kind of got that bounce. It's hard for me to short now, guys. It's hard for me to form a short buys unless we see some very aggressive um, positioning. So we want to see those big orders coming in. Oh yeah, what happened? No, they are. There hasn't been any orders above 150. Right, it's there. If I take the short, it's going to be my last trade for today. I have a three loss rule. See, here we go. Here we are again. It's happening again, guys. Look at the Heatmap. Large aggressive buys followed by limit sell orders. I don't think I want to jump into that because it's the same. That's the same setup that we saw earlier, but you got a little bit of a pullback. But guess what? You push right up. Depends on volatility. Depends on how orders are getting filled for that day or for let's say for the week. But right now I set it at 150. I think this is going down. I don't know. I can't. I just can't initiate a short here now. The reason why, Leo, is this was during our pre-market plan, right? If you look at just zoom out, right? Zoom out and make sure you understand the context and what the price action is doing, right? You just created a higher low based on yesterday's price action. The low of yesterday was 7571.25, and this is that created this demand zone was created on Tuesday. You bounce on Wednesday. Today you wick right below it, right, or right above it, creating a higher low. I simply cannot short from here now after seeing that, right? And now we're reclaiming this Tuesday's high, right? And this is Wednesday where you had a lot of transaction where you actually acted as support in the afternoon session, right at this level, right? And today you're kind of reclaiming that and you're pushing right above it. If I'm going to short at this level, I need to see I need price to convince me. I need sellers to convince me that I want to short here, meaning that I want to see some large aggressive sell orders that's stepping in at this level. Because now this has room to test yesterday's high, right? Right around that 7620 to 7628 zone. That is your next area where price could gravitate towards. So let's mark that right now. This is your next area. Right now, I'm gonna look for ways to be bullish now, as long as we hold above 7600 to 7604. I hope they made sense. I mean, look at this, right? Same thing. You see this large aggressive. I mean, you can see it on the footprint as well. Aggressive buys coming in, and yet price is not moving. Is this an absorption? Should we initiate a short? For me, no, because I tried it twice. Right here. Right here where the absorption happened. At this level. What did price do? Come down to that 7600 and what happened? Bounced. I also wanted to remember I was talking about that Nasdaq 29,400 bounce as well. I mean, we bounced at that level. I mean, it was kind of pretty fast. But that's also another bullish indication. So as long as 29,400 is holding, we're looking for more upside here. Does that make sense, guys? I really want to short it. This is the setup that I take on a daily basis. I just needed to see a confirmation now. The thing is, where is our confirmation? Right? Where can we potentially seek out? We want to see the push down, right? Where is the confirmation? Maybe 7608, right? We see a push down below that. Like, look for that retracement to play the downside. I think that's going to be my plan here for today. I see the absorption. I see orders getting filled here, buy side orders. If we don't make a high, we get an aggressive push down. I'm looking for a retracement to play that short. Targeting the opening price and into that 790, 792 final target. That's going to be my plan for today. Here's the push down. This price action is even slow for me. I'm looking for a potential short here. This is going to be my last one. All right. So we saw the absorption here again, right? Followed by native delta right below it. I just need to see some regression to the downside here. I'm not gonna make the same mistake of trying to, enter early and not waiting for confirmation. Right back up. And this price action is so slow. Looks like sellers took a nap today. You know, 200 lots just got filled there at 7612. ES just made a new high while the Nasdaq is starting to see some. We're starting to see some weakness here on the Nasdaq. ES not high day, but session. I'm talking when I say high day, that's regular RTH. I'm not. I don't consider high day as overnight session. Always RTH. My volume profile is RTH. My delta summary is RTH. So I'm talking RTH. I'm never talking whenever I say high day or low day, I'm never talking about, the overnight. I'll say, the overnight high will be taken out, as you can see here, right? Overnight high, OH, is at 7632. I'll distinguish that. I'll say overnight high is taken out. Like this here, guys, this is going to be an A-class setup if it occurs, right? What we want to see is these buyers becoming trapped. We just need confirmation. We need the push down, an aggressive push down, and then we'll look for that retracement to play that continuation to the downside. My stop loss will be above high day. Again, the reason why I'm looking for multiple confirmation here is, as you can see, we tried shorting here at that same type of setup, but we didn't get that continuation. So I don't want to be early this time, right? I want to see an aggression to that direction, and I want to see a retracement. That's why it's very important to kind of understand the market context, right? Sometimes your setup doesn't play out. I mean, I don't think any setup. I mean, I can say this 100%. Like, no setup has a 100% win rate. The downside is being held back. Yeah. It's not even that. It's the it's the what do you call that? Sellers are just not aggressive. They're just not aggressive. I mean, we're seeing the absorption here. We're literally seeing it. Here, we saw it here, but we're just not getting the aggression from sellers. We're getting a little bit of an aggression here now. I'm seeing a little bit of an aggression here, guys. I'm gonna enter here, guys. I'm looking to, my stop loss is gonna be above high day. I'm gonna look to enter 2 more cons if we break below 7,600. If 7,600 acts as support, I'm gonna get out. This is gonna be my last trade for today. There's the aggression. I need to see 7604 to 7600 gets taken out quick. We need quick aggression here. We cannot pause. Need sellers to really step in here. I'm gonna have one more contract there. I got 3 micros so far. This seller here really needs to get aggressive or else they're gonna get trapped. I do not want this seller to get put in pain. We do not want to see this bounce here at 7608. We want to see continuation here. You can see in the footprint. Heatmap, as you can see here, right? We need these guys to start being aggressive. We need to push down here. 7600 is also a VWAP, okay? So again, if 7600 acts as support, I'm gonna get out. If we break below it with ease, I'm looking to target 7597 to like 7590 area. NASDAQ also broke below 29,400, guys. So that for me is another confirmation. We broke below 29,400. Now we just need to see some regression here. Sellers really need to start stepping in, or else we're gonna bounce here again. If we break below 7,600, I might consider adding one more micro. Keep an eye here. Orb high is 7604. Again, we need to see aggression at 7600 or else I'm going to be out. That is where, that's a psychological level. That is also the bottom of our pivot zone. That is also where VWAP is. Nasdaq's continuing to sell here. We're getting the push down. Again, need to see aggression here at 7600. Don't get excited yet. You can literally bounce anywhere from this pivot zone. Need aggression below 7600. There's some buy limit orders sitting at 76.95, also at 75.90. Look here on the heat map. That could potentially be our targets, right? Those are limit orders, buy limit orders. There's about 270 lots and 200, what was the other one? 248. $29,400 just got retested on the Nasdaq, and right now getting a little bit of rejection. Come on, sellers. You need to step in. You already did your job here, right? Absorbing those buy orders. Now you just need to see some, you just need to get aggressive here. I don't like this. I don't like that bounce there. Watching this 7610. The 7610 needs to hold. Need to act as a resistance there. This next push down, guys, we need to take that 7600 low. Or the 7600. If it doesn't take out, I'm going to get out. Someone just got filled there, 193 lots at 7608. Watching it here, guys. This might be my last trade. We get stopped out. You get the retest of that zone, right? Of that absorption zone. Are we going to get some rejections here? We got GDP numbers coming up in 30 minutes from bill auction. Oh yeah, that's at 1 o'clock. We're here at 12 o'clock. I've been in this trade for way too long. We need some follow throughs here. How's everyone doing? Are you guys in a long? Are you guys in a short with me? Are you guys flat? Sideline, flat. Got stopped out of your short. Yeah, I got stopped out twice, Leo. This is my last attempt for a short. We're forming a lower high here, right? This is your high, lower high, but need to see aggression here now. Watch this 7600, guys. This is where, again, no fireworks yet. Don't get too excited. We'll get excited once the 7600 breaks. If 7600 acts as support again, I'm gonna be out. There's just no aggression on the shorts, on the sellers. They're like taking a nap. Trade is currently break even, as you can see on the screen. There you go. There's the sellers. They're getting a little aggressive here. Red profile now on the footprint. Need to push through. Need to push through here. Do not stop now. Do not stop. And bounce again. Nasdaq back at 29,400 and finding support. Here's another attempt. This is a, so if you guys are watching my screen, this is an absorption setup, right? Aggressive buy orders, as you can see on the delta profile here, right? Blue, right? That's your buy side delta profile, right? Followed by sellers coming in. This is the setup that I would take 10 out of 10 times. It's just the price is very, very slow. Very, very slow. We're up about 5 points here. Here's the 7,600. We need to really break that, or else we're just going to bounce again. We got to break this. This is where your VWAP is sitting as well. Again, we're up about 5 points. We have 3 cons right now. Here's 7,600. If we break 7,600, we're gonna see some aggression here. But you gotta break it. We gotta break it. Up about 7 points here, guys. Remember, 7 to 10 points, that's when you start managing your position. Either move your stop loss to break even, whatever the case may be, take partial profits. Again, not financial advice. I'm holding my position right now currently. This could bounce here. This is the 7,600 mark. Nasdaq is also approaching overnight low. Right, look at Nasdaq, overnight low, approaching that level. I need about 10 to 13 points for me to be up today. Because remember, I took those 2 losses earlier. If I can get about 10 to 12, I should be green for today. 7,600 acting as a support. Like I said, we need to break this. Buyers are now stepping in again. Jeez. Nasdaq rejected at 29,400. That's a good sign. That's a good sign, guys, for ES short. But the thing is, you gotta find. You're really gonna need to start taking out that overnight low, 29,360. Are you guys still in the short with me, or are you guys did you guys take profits? I'm still in. Entered short, stopped out at break even. Yeah, sellers today are non-existent or not as aggressive as the past couple days. But I think again we'll see it below 7,600. Nasdaq just took out overnight low. Is that going to be a sweep of low, or are we going to get some continuation here? Sellers are stepping in here at 7603. It is. It's very slow. We're back up 7 points here, guys. Here's the 7,600 again. Again, we expect this, right? We expect some type of support here. We got the retracement bounce. Now we just got to take out this 7,600. We got to take it out. Bears really need to take this out. New low there on the NASDAQ. It should put some pressure there on ES. Here's 7,600. There's a seller there that just stepped in. Is he going to get absorbed? Or are we going to get continuation here? And we're getting the bounce again. What's my opinion on VIX futures? I don't really um pay attention to it that much, only at key inflection points. Um, I used to look at it when I day traded options because it was kind of important. Well, here's the 7600 guys. Watch this break. Let's get some aggression, please. We're up 8 points here. I need 10 to 12 points. Let's just get down to 7593, 7590. Man, this is a struggle. I might get out of this one, guys. If we reclaim 7600, I might get out here for a 7-point win. Gosh, this is like trading Globex. I mean, the setup is still there, right? This is still a setup. I mean, it's valid. Am I stopping out because the price is slow? Am I stopping out? Why? Why am I stopping out? I don't want to stop out because the trade is invalidated. Maybe I should have trimmed at 7600 and moved my stop loss to break even. That's the thought process that I'm like, that's what I'm thinking right now. Here's an aggressive seller again at 76.03, but is that going to bounce? Is that going to get absorbed? Are they going to have a follow through? All right, look at the heat map here. 149 lots at 76.03, but are we going to have a follow through? That passive buyer or passive limit order at 7595 is still there, and 759 90. Like for me, I don't like stopping out because of other reasons other than either it, the setup is invalidated or, it hit my stop loss. I don't want to, I don't want to have a habit of just stopping out um, because of other reasons. Unless of those two, two or three things. Like if, you know, if the chart is telling me that it's invalidated or if it stops me out at my and my predetermined stop loss area. I don't like deviating away from my, predetermined plan. I try to avoid it. Here's another test of the 7600. Back, we're up 8 points again. Aggressive buyer just stepped in there at 7600. It is. Today definitely is, Leo. Today definitely is. Who did I learn from? It's just multiple people on YouTube. I just kind of like took bits and pieces, right? It wasn't really one person that I really learned it from. It was multiple of them. And I just like some of the things I didn't agree with some of the guys that I watched. So I just took the ones that made sense for me and then, made my own kind of my own strategy. Took the same losses as you? Yeah. And the thing is, Vimal, review it and see if you still agree to that thesis. For me, it's still an A plus setup for me. It's a setup that I will take 10 out of 10 times. The only thing that I would change is that based on the market condition, maybe I should have waited for, uh, another confirmation, meaning we should have waited for a move down and a retracement to that level to confirm. Getting a little bit of a pump here again. Thanks, Leo. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're getting a push up here now. So 7,600 multiple times got touched, supported. Now we might probably take the high day now too. Intuition. Yeah, I don't listen to my feelings. No, no, no. I try. I mean, sometimes I get a slip up here and there, but really try not to. I try to be as subjective as I can, right, with what I'm seeing in the market. I try my best not to let feelings affect my trading. From being up 8 points to now being down 5 points on this trade. Did you ever try to set up a statistics about your feelings, the different ones in a different situation? No, I haven't really tried that. Give me 1 second here. We might get stopped out here. But if this gets rejected at this 7613-ish level, I might add another contract here. Because there are some aggressive buyers here stepping in at that same level. If this gets slapped, right? If this gets rejected here, I think we're going to get that 7600 break. Watching it here. Yeah, this is going to be my last ad, guys. I am now in 4 micros. Average entry is 7608. You can see everything there. Need this 7613 to now just act as a resistance. We don't want to revisit that. And I think we can get this move to the downside. Back to break even here. This is the reason why. Let me just show the heat map, right? Aggressive buyers here stepped in. And then aggressive buyers, more aggressive buyers, right? And then you struggled there, right? Sellers started coming in. So I got into that based on that information. I added into that position. Sellers are just not aggressive. Here's another attempt at 7603, guys. We're up about 5 points, 6 points here with 4 micros. If we bounce here on 7600, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose it. I'm really gonna lose it. And we're bouncing. Is my target very far away? Is this the range that we have? Should I just be scalping this? 5 to 7 points? I mean, yeah, 7600, you can literally buy from there. That's a support level there. Just into the highs and lows, right? Like, I think that this looks like that's the type of day we're gonna have for today. I think this market condition is not giving us long range. I mean, yeah, I mean, you gotta have sniper entries. I mean, the last couple days we've had really good trades, right? We've had 13 to 15 points, even 30 points, right? I mean, we got a little lucky on that one, but we've caught some good moves. It's just that today, it's just choppy. Wow, it's 11:30 already. Didn't even notice that. It's gonna look good if this is gonna be a lower high here. Uh, limit sell sitting at 7612, about 457 lots. You can see here on the heat map. Again, limit sell order there. I don't know if they're gonna spoof that or not. Oh my God, can we just... See if 7600 gets tapped here again. I might just get out. Take my 8 points and call it a day. This is just brutal. I don't want to end the stream because I'm still in this position, and probably you guys are still in this position too, right? We're in this together. Win or loss. Can't leave you guys hanging. Thoughts on yesterday's match? Oh, they shouldn't have messed with Messi. You saw that game? Man, Messi turned it up after, what's his name? Kind of confronted him and made fun of him? Or said something like disrespectful? Man, what a comeback. Bellingham, yeah. Messi just went off. I think he got those 2 goals. It was assists, right? 2 assists on those 2 goals. Crazy. If he wins this championship, man, it's he's the GOAT. I think there's no question about it. I mean, he already is in my books, but I think he's gonna go down as the greatest of all time. Someone just got filled there at 7612 or 449 lots. There's another 800 lot. Geez, 800 lots sitting at 716. Another 600 lots at 7615. So there's 2 limit sell orders sitting at 7615 and 7616. I think they're going to try to grab that. The orders at 7595 to 7590, they just removed that. Who do you guys got for the finals? Are you guys rooting for Argentina or Spain? It's gonna be a good game, guys. Argentina versus Spain. Argentina. I don't know. Spain is really nice. They're really good as a team. Man, I'm hoping that this is a trap. This is a trap buyer here. Really hoping that this is a trap buyer there. We're back in the greens, guys. If 7600 doesn't, if it holds, I think I'm just gonna get out and call it a day. You can see it here on the footprint as well, right? Just look at that large delta profile there. Buy side. We just need sellers. Sellers need to step in. My name's Ross, Leah. I'll do a face reveal. Yeah, Ross. I'll do a face reveal. Probably once we start. So there's a goal for me. So if we get to 5,000 subscribers, or if we get 100 concurrent viewers here on YouTube, we'll do a face reveal. Up about 4 points here again. Of course, of course. You are welcome. Come on, Bears. Let's wake up. Up 5 points here, guys. Here's 7,600 again. That's also where VWAP is. This is where we've been bouncing. All right, this is where we've been bouncing, guys. If you guys don't want to hold this position, you can possibly trim here or just close it. The thing is, if I exit now and if this dumps to our target, I'm really gonna tilt, and it's probably gonna affect my trading in the next couple of days. That's the thing. I know my trigger points already. I've been doing this for 5-6 years. You just gotta know yourself. All right, we're break even here for today. After those 2 losses at this 7,600, we're up about 8 points here now. 7,600 needs to break here, guys. Somebody break that wall. Holding my shirt to low day. Man. Please manage your risk, sir. There are other days. There's still tomorrow. But that would be great. If you hold it until low day, that would be crazy. Tag me on X if you if you do, and if it hits. Oh my gosh, 7,600. Whoever's in 7,600 buying this, I hope you're losing life. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Just please let go. Stop buying here. Let us exit this position and then you can have it. God, the suspense is real. Finally, goodness gracious. Now do it, please. You gotta be kidding me. I'm out. I'm out, guys. I am out. I am taking my 7 points, 6 points there. I'm not going to stress myself over that. We are slightly red for today. I'll do a review here and I'll post it on X and just comment how painful it was today. That 7,600 wall. The trade thesis is still, it's still intact. Right, it's still intact. There's still some orders, some sell limit orders there sitting at 7615 to 7616. There was a large order buy order that got filled there, and then as you can see, you got the push down. But I don't think I'm willing to hold this position, guys. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow. Same time, right? As always, guys, have a good one. Stay safe out there. Please do not overtrade and manage your risk. There's always tomorrow. Have a good one. Ross is out. Peace.